Hi friends, welcome back and thanks for watching. I did an Amazon Live this morning with all of my favorite travel items from Amazon that I used this past weekend when we were in Tennessee and that I plan using next week when I go to New York with my mom. And over 10,000 people watched it and I was like, oh, maybe this is something we should do a YouTube video about. So I'm going to be kind of walking you guys through my favorite travel essentials, why I love some things. I do have a couple that are like, if you don't like this style of packing, maybe you can do it this way. But everything's gonna be numbered up on screen, and then I'll have that number with the link in the description bar and comment section, along with a little pop-up right here that should come up with like makeup details, and you know, anything, my necklace, tank top, like you can also find that in the description bar and comment section. But we will go ahead and get started with, let's actually start with the number one product that was really hot in my DMs this past weekend, and it is this Bag Smart bag, like travel toiletry bag. So I am quite a Bag Smart person. I have a gym bag. I have one of their bags for my like tanning machine. I have their carry-on. I have a few of their other toiletry bags, and then I have this one. Something about Bag Smart, like they really just have designers that know what they're doing, because you can load down any of their bags with as much stuff as you can possibly fit in them, and they will not be too heavy to carry. So this does look kind of bulky. I have it unzipped right now. It actually fit in my carry-on with no issue, and it held every single toiletry that I needed. So instead of having 2, 3, 4 different little bags, it all fit in here and it fit in my carry-on perfectly. But if you're someone who like you're packing your toiletries last and you know you're going on a road trip or something, you can just carry this by itself and then toss it in your car. Sorry, it is a super bright day out, so if the lighting kind of looks a little bit weird when I pull something up on the screen that's like bright white, that's why. But I just absolutely love that this holds full-size products as well. And then before I forget, it also can be just like wiped clean. So usually I would say get a darker color, get black. You know, you're traveling, you don't want it to show marks, but I got makeup on the front of this week. Do you see makeup? Nope, it's because I literally just wiped it off. So on my live stream this morning, I actually put a bunch of full-size products in here just so you could see, and there is like still tons of room, but like this is a 4-ounce bottle, this is a 1.5-ounce bottle, this is an 8-ounce bottle, I've got a 5.1-ounce lotion. All of this stuff is in here and there is still room, and that's just this one side. So when we packed, what I originally did, if you saw my Instagram reel, was I packed in like a few different bags, and then I remembered I had this, and so I took all of that, put it in here, and this is what I ended up taking. I also like that you can kind of sit it out open like this on your counter. So I did my toiletries in one side, supplements, toothbrush, toothpaste, and then in this side I did my makeup. It fit 100% of my makeup routine, full-size products without issue at all. And then I had, so those were the two main compartments. In the front here, this is where you could probably put like makeup brushes, but what I had here was our, like my husband's toothbrush. I have my wipes, because you guys know I'm a germaphobe. I had my makeup wipes here. I had my husband's deodorant. And again, all of this stuff fit. I was able to zip this up. The bag didn't feel too heavy or bulky, and it still fit in my carry-on. And then in the back, I had my 3-ounce toiletry bottles, 4 of them that I will show you guys in a second. I had this mirror because I always travel with one that has a light, just in case, because you never know what the lighting setup is going to be. And then I also had my shower cap in here. So when I tell you this fit everything but the kitchen sink, I mean it. I literally had this bag slam full. So if ever there is a singular bag that you're going to need, it's going to be this one. But it also can, you know, you may not want that. So I have a couple other recommendations that I'll share at a later point in this video. Product number 2 is actually this charging bank right here. So you guys know I'm very big on charging banks. I love them. But what I love the most about this one, can you see right there, is that it says 100, meaning that this is 100% charged. And that is huge, because I cannot stand the light system. Oh, it has 3 lights. Okay. 3 lights are lit up, 100%. All right, now you're down to 2 lights. What does that mean? 50%, 75%? Where are we at? How much battery do you have left? And I feel like that's just annoying. Sometimes they'll have 4 lights. You would assume it's 25% each. That's annoying. I wanna know how much exactly battery this has. And say I'm at a restaurant, it's running low, I've been charging my device all day, someone else needs it. You literally can just pop this bad boy down and plug that right into a wall. And that is what I love about this, is that there's not an extra cord with this. You can just plug this right into the wall and there you go. So I'm taking this to New York. This was actually Lisa Duncan recommended this to me when we were at the YouTube Holiday House in October. She said she was looking for one because all of our phones were dying. We were in a concrete building and she was like, oh, I love the ones that you can plug right in. So I went on Amazon right there. She told me the brand name and I bought it. I do also want to note it has 3 different kinds of actual charging ports and you can charge multiple things at once, but it just always, it like never fails. I always need something charged. And so having this is really nice. It is very lightweight. I wouldn't say it's a rapid charger, but it is faster than some others that I have used. So I'm really nervous to use rapid chargers because I feel like they do damage my phone battery the longer that I use them, but I like that about this. So this is definitely like a travel must-have, but also just a day-to-day must-have. Number 3, I know that pretty much all Airbnbs and hotel rooms have irons. However, when I went to the, again, YouTube Holiday House in October, the iron there actually had something like burnt on it and I was afraid to use it and I was like, that's just gonna like get onto my dress. Well, the dress that I had, it really didn't need to be steamed. It was like one of those, it was a material that like it needed to be ironed out. And so I was really frustrated because the steamer just did not work. So now I will always take my little baby iron with me. I actually took this past weekend. I used it, my girlfriend used it. I would say it doesn't heat up like obviously as fast as a regular iron, but it does still heat up to a really good hot point. It works very quickly. It does have these 2 little handles here at the top that you can really get in there. It has an on-off switch and then a pretty decent sized cord. But what I love is, y'all know I love a good bag. It does have its own little baggie. It comes with a bottle, so since this actually isn't a steamer, you can just fill this up with water, spray whatever you're trying to iron out, and then that will kind of steam it away and work the same way as a steamer. And it comes with a little mat. So this is key because you don't ever want to put this iron down on something that's going to ruin a surface, whether it's at an Airbnb or hotel. So you actually can heat this up like while it's on this little mat. I just turned mine to the side, but I kept it on here because I just wanted to make sure it didn't burn anything. So again, maybe not necessary, but I just get, now I'm like, I can't trust that they're gonna have an iron that doesn't have something gross on it. So yeah, I will always be traveling with this little iron just because I do like the fact that you can also kind of turn it into a makeshift steamer. And it is little and compact when it is put down in this bag. I do believe they have like different colored bags, but this is just so convenient. Look at that. So tiny and easy. I shared this in a video, just like one of the videos where I shared, oh, everything I bought last month. And I said, I bought this because I couldn't find my other one. And sure enough, now that I bought this, I'm gonna find it. Found it. So my mom now has one to take with her as well. This is the best product for your hair items, specifically your hot tools. So one of the reasons why I love this the most is that you can roll this little mat out right here, and this will work as a mat that is heat resistant for your hot tools. So when you put this on the ground, you know, a counter, whatever, you're not gonna be damaging the counter, the carpet, whatever your hot tools are sitting on. And you know, sometimes you do end up like sitting on the ground in front of a mirror in a weird spot in an Airbnb. I don't ever want to damage someone's floor. So I will put this mat out, and this is what I use my hot tools and let them heat up on. But also the inside can store a full-size curling iron, and you still have room for your hair products. So I actually had my dry shampoo, my hairbrush, this is heat protectant, I had a couple clips in here, and my full-size 1.75-inch body waver curling iron in here this past weekend. It all fit and zipped up nice and compact, super easy. And I did my hair, and then we immediately had to pack and go, and sure enough, because the curling iron was still hot, I wasn't like standing there going, hey, I need for this to cool down. I was able to just throw it in this bag, throw this in my suitcase, and I knew that nothing was gonna get burned or melted. So definitely a great bag, and one that I refused to go without. So when I thought I lost this one, I bought this one, and now I have 2. So actually my mom has one. Now, this is kind of one of those things where it depends on what you want. I will now probably always travel with the Bag Smart Toiletry Bag. I will probably always put my makeup in there, my skincare in there, because I like just having everything in a one-stop shop. However, if you are someone who doesn't want that bag and you like something that's kind of dedicated for your makeup and skincare, and then you keep everything else separate, this is amazing. Or if I'm not traveling with like a ton of toiletries, I would take this. But this can hold a ton of toiletries. This sits open flat, which I really love. I did a full pack with me reel on Instagram, and I was able to get 100% of my makeup routine in here, full-size products, nothing travel. I didn't put my makeup brushes in here, but I had like a full mirror. I had a lash curler. I had all the steps, and they went in here and zipped up with no problem. And then I was able to flip it around and put all of my skincare in here. And I did not take any travel skincare apart from my Skin Smart Spray, which I actually don't have to. Knowing what I know now, I just am gonna put the whole bottle in the toiletry bag. But I was able to fit all of my Zio skin health products in here. I put my Luxaton oil and serum in here. I had like every single skincare product I could possibly use was in this side. I was able to zip it up, and here we go. Just zip this bad boy. And I do like a good translucent bag because I feel like you can visually reach for it before you actually reach for it. But again, it just depends on kind of what you're into. This is a great one. This is the color beige, very thick. And I just think that it really depends on what you need, but they're both good. Then we have this little 3-pack of bags. And I have no idea what I did with the third one. I know it's somewhere. Like I remember seeing it recently and being like, isn't that my travel bag? Can't find it. But I wanted to show you this because if you actually go look at the product image, I feel like these don't do justice of how big they are. This bag is massive. And again, I'm going back to, I keep saying it, I did a pack with me reel. If you saw that video, you saw that I took a ton of my other little bags and shoved them down in here. You guys, let me just show you. Okay, so we've got a box of wipes. I've got a little pill organizer. This is my makeup brushes I'm gonna share. We've got, you know, wipes. Let's go ahead and put the iron in there. And we're like still, I mean, I just tossed those in there. That wasn't even organized. All that stuff fits in there perfectly. No problem, no issue. So this bag is just massive. It's kind of a carry-all, catch-all. But one of the things that I like about this, and I said this in my live this morning, is I wish I would have had something like this when I was a new mom, because I'm just not someone, like I loved the diaper bag when the boys were little and I needed 72 things. But very quickly, right around the time they reached 6 months old, I kind of stopped carrying a diaper bag. And I really just went to like, I need something like this that I can just carry a couple diapers, a wipe or two, because they weren't having these insane blowouts constantly. Like I needed a passy and a snack. This would have been very convenient. So this does come with a little 3-pack, and the third one is much smaller. It's about half the size of this, but I got no idea what I did with that thing. Next up, I've talked about these a million times. You guys know by this point I'm a germaphobe, not because of 2020, but because I watched a video in science in my 9th grade class, and just how far a travel sneezes, even if you cover your mouth. Oh, it's disgusting. People are gross. So when I'm doing public transportation or I'm like staying in a public place, I'm that person who I'm wiping everything down. I love a good Clorox wipe, love a good Lysol disinfecting wipe, but those can really be drying, and especially Roman has really sensitive skin. So I found these. They are the Aloe Skin Softening Sanitizing Hand Wipes. This is the peppermint and eucalyptus. I also have sweet orange and bergamot, and then I do have the travel in lavender and rosewood. Personally, my favorite is the peppermint and eucalyptus. I think that it is the best smell ever. I love eucalyptus so much. You can get, I think, 3-packs or 6-packs, or you can get the travel wipes. It really, like the little travel individual wipes, I guess I should say. These are great for just like putting them down in your purse if you're carrying like a little mini clutch. And I just think these are fantastic. So I never travel without these, especially on a plane. I get in and I'm just like wipe, 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 get everything down, but it's skin softening. They're sulfate free, paraben free. They have essential oils in them, but they still kill 99.99% of germs. I do want to give these a quick little shout out. These Toiletry, I've mentioned these before. They're little 3-ounce bottles. This bag that they do come in is TSA friendly, so it's the same size as a quart size bag. In here, I do shampoo, conditioner, my actual soap, and then the Luxaton almond body wash like oil. And these are fantastic. They haven't leaked for me yet, so I really don't have any issue with them. They have like 7 million colors in these. I would actually, if I was packing for like me and the boys, I would probably get us all different colors so that I knew whose was who, just kind of like color code that way. But I love these bottles. I think they're relatively easy to wash and dry, which is kind of just why I default back to these. I've repurchased these a few times because after a while I feel like you just need to toss the bottle and be done with it. But these are what I took to Tennessee. They're definitely what I'll be taking to New York because they're just a really good size. They fit what I need for travel, and they're just easy. However, we also have these bottles. Now, I am someone who, like, when you are traveling, it is almost more important to stick to your skincare routine when you're traveling than it is when you're home. Because especially if you're like me, my skin is like, where are we? What are we doing? What's going on with the air? Why? And so when I keep my skincare routine consistent, I feel like I have less chance of just having like a flare up from acne or something. And these are really nice because while those 3-ounce bottles are just 3-ounce bottles, like there's nothing, you know, wild about those, these do come with little pump bottles. And then they also come with a spray bottle that I had earlier. Here it is. It's just a little spray bottle that has, let me see if I can put my hand and show you guys. This one has a little bit of a different look right here on the edge versus this one that's just like a flat gold. That's gonna kind of tell you, hey, this is the spray like pump. These are the like 5 and 10 milliliter or either like 10 and 15 milliliter. These are the smallest ones, but they do have some bigger options. They come with a smaller pump if you wanted to take hand lotion, you wanted to take, you know, anything like that that isn't just like shampoo, conditioner, soap, you know, body wash, whatever. I feel like these are great. The quality of them is amazing. I'm dropping things left and right. They also came with these little tubs that I put my LMS cleansing balm in just because I don't want to have to carry a whole big size with me, but they also come with a syringe. So this is how you're going to be able to load those bottles down with product. And I found that very easy to do. And also this very easy to clean in between uses. I have heard some people say that they've like never had an issue taking their medication and putting them in a little supplement box like this in a way. But I personally have heard like you need to always have your prescribed medications in their prescription bottles just in case you don't want to have any questions. And so I actually only use this for my supplements. I do fish oil and then zinc every single day. I mean, these are like freaking horse pills. Y'all look how big those things are. And then the zinc on the other side, and they fit tons. So you're gonna be able to fit like a week's worth in here. And then again, you can put your individual medication in here, like if you take Tylenol or something, but I've just heard that when it comes to like prescribed medication, they need to be in their bottles. So what I actually did, and I will link this under another number, is this little RX bag, because that way I put my prescriptions down in here. I have my supplements in this. And then if I were to get pulled to the side, you know, they were like, okay, what is this? I can just say, those are my supplements. And at the end of the day, if they get tossed, they get tossed. I don't think they would do that, but I have my prescription medication with my name on it, and it is in its own little special baggie, and I know where those are. So I love a good, cute little labeled bag, and this one's my fave. Now I packed everything in that original first bag that I showed you except for this. This has got to be one of the best items probably ever. So well designed and thought out. So this is BK Beauty Brushes Angie Hot and Flashy Collab Travel Brush Set. Now, I am a big BK Beauty girl. I did notice after time, like I had a couple different brush brands, and I noticed that I was getting the most compliments on how my makeup looked. Obviously, like your makeup does matter, but when I was using certain brushes, I just was noticing the application was smoother, didn't look as like splotchy, and I was just getting a lot more comments. So I actually went through and did a full overhaul with BK Beauty, and I use only their brushes now, and these are literally travel brushes that are in this little case. So this is the A507, but in a slightly smaller version. This is the Viral Concealer Brush, the A506 for Angie Hot and Flashy. In here, that is a little bit smaller, but this little bag actually sits out on your counter like this. Like, I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know, you kind of can. It is perfect and just like sits open on the counter. But the other day I was like, you know what, this isn't all the brushes that I need. So I was able to put a few more in here and my beauty blender. And then I was able to just zip this up. So this is the most convenient little case for carrying your makeup brushes and not getting them damaged, because of course it's specifically designed for that. I do know that BK makeup brushes are a little bit more expensive, but again, like I just did a complete overhaul recently and now I only use their stuff because they they just genuinely do makeup brushes better than anybody, and I get compliments on my makeup now that I use their stuff more than ever before. So I love this little set. You can get pretty much all of their stuff on Amazon, but such a good one. The next product is actually these bags. So I just almost spilled the whole bag. I love to take multiple shoe options wherever I go because shoes can completely change an outfit. You can take a dress that you're wearing with sneakers and put on with sandals, completely different vibe. So I actually overpack shoes and will underpack clothes because I think it's just easier. But if you buy like packing cubes, usually they only come with like maybe 1 or 2 at most shoe bags. And this is literally a pack of 20 that have drawstrings at the top. So they have 3 different colors. You can get these that are like not fully see-through. You can see the shoe, but it's not 100% transparent. They do have a 100% transparent one, and then they have a black. I would recommend these just simply because you can kind of see the shoe, but if they're dirty, it's not a big deal. But I got a 20 pack because, again, I like to overpack shoes, but I wanted to give my mom some too. So I actually took these when they came in, and I just store them down in here. And there you go, drawstring right up. It is perfect. And then a few of you guys actually told me, and I had never thought about this, so wash and dry your bedroom slippers when you get home from traveling, because I've told you, like, I just think hotels are disgusting, and Airbnbs, like, I don't want to walk on that floor. And so some of you guys were like, throw the bedroom slippers that you're using in the wash when you get home and then stick them in a shoe bag, stick them in your suitcase, and don't like use them in your house. Only use them when you travel. And I thought that was genius. So I'm actually gonna start doing that also with my shower shoes. So the next product that I will link for you guys are these. Now I have repurchased these a few times now, and that's why I like already cleaned these and I'm just gonna keep these. I originally purchased these either in gray or blue. I think it was blue when I was having Ezra. And I tossed them in the trash before I came home. I was like, you know, it's gonna be a few years before I have another baby. Like, I don't have any traveling coming up. Let me just toss them. I don't wanna have to keep them. Well, then I got pregnant, like, you know, literally 6 months later. And so when I was having Roe, I had like the gray or blue pair and I tossed them. Well, I had to buy them again, and I was like, you need to quit throwing away the shower shoes. Just keep them. Moriah, clean them and then keep them stored. So these shower shoes are the ones that I always go back to. They fit true to size, very comfortable for what they are. And I like that they have holes that go all the way through. So the water is actually not just sitting in the shoe. It is like gonna go all the way through. I just can't stand showering in a public shower, but I know that you have to do it when you travel. So I put them in this bag, and that is where they will be kept from now on in my suitcase until I travel again. Last final item, not necessarily a travel item, but if you're looking for like 1 pair of shoes, I only want to take 1 pair of shoes, this is what I recommend. I got these in on Thursday and did not really wear them much. I didn't break them in. So Friday we went and saw the comedian. I wore them with a dress. They looked super cute. Saturday morning we got up, went to breakfast, walked around town. I wore these with straight leg jeans. They looked cute. Yesterday we were home. I was wearing bike shorts. I wore these. They looked cute. And they were insanely comfortable the entire time. So I just wanted to link these for you guys. Go down half a size if you are between. I believe they only have whole sizes. So I grabbed a 9. I'm a true size 9.5, but I love the just simple black V on these, white laces. So very easy to adjust, loosen if you need. And then they have the black Veja on the back. So I am taking these to New York, and the plan is to, on that first day when we're exploring, I'm actually wearing a cute like little cotton black dress, and I'm gonna wear those, and then I'm literally gonna just change my shoes before dinner and change into like a pair of like either strappy heels or sandals or something. So that is it for this video. I love talking travel stuff because I'm so excited to be traveling a little bit more now that my boys are a little bit older. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any travels coming up, where you're going, what you're doing. I cannot wait to go to New York next week. I have only been once in my life, and it was for a work trip years ago, and I just had a lot of anxiety. And so I feel like I couldn't enjoy it, and this time I'm actually really, really gonna enjoy it, and I just can't wait. So thank you so much for watching. Click that subscribe button if you're new here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.